Hey YouTube, so I'm hoping that the lighting situation's not too bad. But anyway, I want to tell you about my daughter that passed away. Her birthday is coming up January 10th. I've not really been able to I've been saying for a long time I was going to do a video on it, as I thought that it possibly could help some other families that's been through what I've been through. But y'all, it's really hard for me, and so that's why I've not talked about it. But I'm gonna try and get through the video without crying. Um, but right now, I want to say thank you to my good friend Laura, because I'm making use of this cup. And I did, let me see if I can get a little closer, maybe you can see. Y'all have such teeny eyes and teeny eyelashes. But this mascara did make my eyelashes longer and fuller looking. And it did a good job on, compared to other mascaras. It did do a good job on it. But as you can see, this one eye here, I'm constantly getting asked, did someone hit me in the eye? Because I got bumps under it, and I don't know if y'all could see those bumps. Let me see, I'll try and pull closer. I don't know if y'all could see. See, this eye's not too bad. But this one over here, it's always looking like somebody's hit me in it lately. And it's got bumps under it. And I'm assuming it's my autoimmune diseases. I need to go, excuse me, and see my regular doctor. I've not seen my regular doctor in a while. I only go to my doctor that gives me the medications that I need, just to get through, which is a pain management doctor. So anyway, again, thank you, Laura. And these are the earrings that I kept. These were the stuff that Robbie had sent me for Christmas. And there's a necklace and a bracelet I believe matches these. I couldn't figure out how to open up the necklace. My daughter knows how. I'm going to have to ask her. But, so anyway, I'll be back in a minute to try to get to the story of my daughter, who passed away 3 years ago on my other daughter's birthday. Well, shortly thereafter. And they weren't on good terms at the time. And that's another story. But she did ask for forgiveness. Of course, my daughter was under. They had her knocked out. But I still believe that they can hear you. But anyway, I'll be back with that in a minute. Alright, so the day that I got the phone call, my daughter had a long history of drug abuse. But this, I don't know how good you'll be able to see it. This is me and my daughter. She made this for me. I'm sorry, y'all. See, I can't even get through one sentence. She made this picture for me. It's a picture of me and her. And she put it in this frame. And it says, "You are a special mom." Alright, I'm going to try it. Let me take a break. Okay, Laura, I sure hope this mascara is waterproof. But anyway, as I was saying, She had a long time drug history. And, y'all, I really believe that drug issues are usually contributed to a mental illness. Um, Everyone I have known has had mental illness that had drug issues. My oldest daughter, which is the daughter that passed away 3 years ago on April the 9th. My youngest daughter's birthday is April the 5th. And like I said, they weren't on good terms at the time, which made it that much harder for my youngest daughter. Anyway, y'all see, this is why I couldn't make this video, even though I know it'll help other people. Okay, so anyway, in order for me to tell you about her, I have to tell you she had a different dad than my other three daughters. She was by my first husband. And I'd have to kind of tell you that story to get to her story, so that y'all would have a better understanding of everything. He had a mental illness. He was adopted by, he was the first adopted. They had 5 that they adopted by Dr. Pete and Pete. And they were chiropractors. And they were world-renowned, well-known chiropractors. I met him. My older sister was actually dating him or seeing him or whatever. I think she was just using him, to be honest with you. So one night I was with my boyfriend and we was at a biker bar up in New Paltz, New York. And I had came out and my sister told me that she, in other words, just wanted him to go away. So, I sat there and spoke to him for a little bit. The next thing I knew, the cops were pulling up. And they took him out of the vehicle, flung him in the ground, abused him, beat him, blah, blah. Took him to jail. I don't know exactly for what. So I'm feeling sorry for him. I'm thinking, damn, Janet, this is awful. You shouldn't do this to somebody. So anyway, a couple months go by, or a month goes by, however long, and I get a phone call. And it's from his attorney wanting to talk to me about what happened that night. And I told the truth. So I'm assuming I helped him get out of this trouble with my testimony to his attorney. What I didn't find out until later on is that he had a very, 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 very long history of trouble. As I said, when you adopt children, you don't know where they come from or why they were adopted out or whatever. I later on found out that he had took an axe to his 10-speed bike when he was young, 10 years old, 11 years old, he was young. Later burnt all of his clothes and stuff in his mother's driveway. He was just always in trouble. He was a drug abuser. And I know for a fact he had mental illness because, and like I said, I believe it's hereditary. I have 4 children. None of the other 3 are drug addicts. None of the other 3 are alcoholics. Just this one daughter. And so anyway, I'll finish telling you the story. I just want to give you a little background on him. But I was abused by him. Pregnant while I was pregnant. Many times. And it's just a long story. It was a nightmare. He was like being married to Charles Manson. Really worse. He classifies way up there with Ted Bundy and all them crazy people. I'm lucky I got out with my life. I just put it to you like that. Um, but, well, I still have to tell you this because this plays a big role in my daughter's life. Um, when she was 5 months old, one of our, many times when he had went off, um, anyway, I took my daughter. I had to run with her. And I ran to a neighbor's house. And I begged the neighbor, don't open the door to my husband, because he would kill me, or God forbid he would harm my daughter. My mother kept telling me that he would harm her, and I kept denying that he would harm her. I kept saying, no, 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 Mom. He would never harm his daughter. He would never, no, no. And, well, my mother came. I finally was able to get up with her. And he tried to pin her in between two vehicles. Threw a boulder through her windshield, tried to kill her. This was after the lady where I had ran to for safety had let him get my daughter. Next thing I know, I come out of the closet where I was hiding at, and I hear him hollering, if you want your baby, she's bleeding, and she's in the floorboard back seat of the car. So I came out, and I ran down there, and I got my daughter. And I ran back to their house, even though, obviously, it wasn't a safe place to go. And anyway, when my mother finally went and got my stepdad, and he came back and knocked in my house door where he was and beat him to a pulp. And the sun was starting to come up at that time, and my daughter's whole one side of her head and face was black and blue and swelled. We called the ambulance. Well, instead of taking my baby to the hospital, they took him. I'm guessing because of who he was. They were very prominent people. So I took my daughter to the hospital. We later found out she had a skull fracture and her 10th rib was broken. Now, this is just one little piece of a big puzzle. Y'all, I've been through a nightmare just with this one daughter alone. Anyway, long story short, and I'll finish filling you in on it. They took her from me straight out of the hospital. They said I couldn't protect her. No, y'all, they didn't lock him up. No. He was allowed to stand outside my house, yell, holler, and threaten me and my family because it was public property in the road. So they said I couldn't protect her. That was the saying size limit has been reached. So that was the first reason. So anyway, I'm going to upload this part of it, and I'll have to finish recording it and finish the story about leading up to my daughter's death. Okay, I'll be back as soon as I upload this part. Don't jump to any conclusions. I'm not done yet. Okay, I'll be back.